I'm going to show you guys how to hold the drumstick traditional grip style and the way I was taught when I was younger. So first things first, you're going to get your drumstick. Now I normally use Pro Marks because they're my favorite brand. Plus also when you use a Pro Mark drumstick, they normally have this line right here. That way you could find the center of it. Doesn't matter if you're using this kind, if you're using the white kind, or if you're using the regular kind like this one. Most Pro Mark drumsticks have this line right here so you could find the middle of it. So get your drumsticks. And before you even hold it like this, you want to make sure that you could at least do this. And what I mean is you want to make sure that you have the drumstick between your thumb and your pointer finger. So when you find the middle of the drumstick, you're going to go a little bit beneath it. So I normally have my thumb on the T right here, a little bit underneath the line, and that's where I have my thumb. So you want to find a little bit of the sweet spot between the line and right here for when you're holding your drumstick. If you're using a Pro Marker, any drumstick, just find the middle of it and have your thumb a little bit underneath it right here. So you're gonna have your thumb right here and your pointer finger. Then you're going to gently, you don't need to smash it like this. So just put it between your thumb and your pointer finger, and you want to be able to do this. So what you're going to be using is your wrist, not your arm, just your wrist. And you're going to be using your thumb mostly. So you're going to be using your thumb to sort of shimmy the drumstick back and forth, and you're going to be using your wrist to rotate it. So you should be able to do this. And you should at least be able to replicate a roll. So you should be able to do this. So obviously it's not the best roll I can do with this, but you should at least be able to replicate a roll. So practice doing that. So you have it. Remember, you're not using any of these three for now. You're going to be using your thumb and your pointer finger. So you should be able to do this. You should be able to make it sound like you're playing with just your thumb and your pointer finger. Anyway, you get it. So when you get to a place where you're pretty comfortable doing this and it sounds somewhat like a roll, next you're going to get your ring finger. Now, when you get your ring finger, you're going to put the drumstick in between this first crease. Sorry, in between the first crease and the second crease right here. So just like we said, you're going to find the middle of the drumstick. Then you're going to put it between your thumb and your pointer finger. And then you're going to put it just like this. So it's just going to, so like your ring finger is holding up the drumstick. So you're just going to put your ring finger right here and have the drumstick between these two lines right here, the knuckle right here and the first line. So it should be like this. So when you get here, when you get to this point where you're comfortable with just these two right here, and then you put your middle finger under it right here. If you're using Pro Mark or something like this, it should be like your ring finger is right underneath the line or somewhat on the line like this. And then you'll realize after you finish doing this step, you'll realize that it's pretty easy. So it should be easier to do a roll like this, because now your your ring finger is taking up all the weight off of your thumb. And it's gonna be like your ring finger is pushing up and your thumb is pushing down. So at first you were just using these two, your pointer and your thumb, and it was going like this. But now that you have your ring finger, it's like your ring finger is taking off some of the weight off your thumb. So it should be like this. Like your ring finger should constantly be bouncing up like this, kind of like it's pushing it up, kind of like you're basically bouncing the drumstick off your ring finger like this. So this thumb right here is pushing down on it, and you're using your wrist, and the ring finger is kind of like constantly trying to keep it up. So your ring finger is keeping up the drumstick, bouncing it up, and your thumb is pushing down at the same time. So it's like pushing up, pushing down, and then it's going to be like this. Realize I'm only using my thumb and my ring. I'm not using these two yet. So you should already be able to do this. You should be able to do this without you even curving your fingers. Now, when you finally get to that place where you could basically drum without using these two, now what you're going to do, you're just going to take, if you're using Pro Mark, because we have them right now, you're going to take your middle finger, then you're going to put it on the small line right here. Then you're going to take your pointer finger and put it right next to. Guys, you don't need to squeeze your drumsticks. So you don't need to squeeze them. You can keep it because you're supposed to keep them very loose. So you can just have them, just put them there very gently. So we already learned you're going to have your hand, find the middle of the drumstick. Then you're going to put it right here in between your thumb and your pointer finger. Then you're going to be able to do this. Then you're going to take your ring finger. Then you're going to put it underneath like this. Then your ring finger is going to be bouncing up the drumstick when your thumb is pushing it down like this. And then you're gently going to put your two fingers on top of it like this. So that's the way I was taught. So yeah, it's going to take a lot of practice. You don't need to squeeze it because when you squeeze it, you're just going to be able, you're just doing less rebound. So you want to use the rebound. When you're doing rolls, you're not using your wrist, you're not using your hands, you're just using your wrist, guys. So using your wrist and you're using the rebound off the powder, whatever surface whether it's the carpet, the concrete, even if it's a bucket, you're just going to be using the surface of whatever it is you're as a rebound. So that's the way I was taught. Hopefully this helps you, whether you're a beginner or learning, no matter which stage you are. Hopefully this helps you. This is the way I was taught. If there's another method, let me know because this is the way I was taught. So let me know what you guys think. So, and I'll just go through it one more time. So you have your hand right here. No matter which drumstick you're using, because most drumsticks, I only have ProMark. So if you're using Vic Firth or Zildjian, I can't really give you because I only use ProMark exclusively. So if you're using Vic Firth, I can't really give you, but most drumsticks have some sort of indication of where the middle is. You just have to find it. So you have the drumstick, you have your hand, you're going to put it just like this between your thumb and your pointer finger. So you should already be able to do this. It should already sound somewhat of a roll. You're going to get your third finger, put it like this, close to the middle. So you should already be able to do a roll with just your thumb and your ring finger. And then gently, you're just going to put this two on top of it, like that. So yeah,